Hello and welcome to the weather update. It is a little after 11 o'clock on January 26, 2022. And I did make it to the Pine Barrens. We did deal with a few pesky clouds to start our walk. But then after that, it was fairly nice and clear. And there's a look at that beautiful frozen lake that I was by in the video. It was beautiful. Look at all that ice there on the lake. Absolutely beautiful. And there's the sun shining bright again. Absolutely beautiful day in the Pine Barrens it turned out to be. This is your Modus satellite view for today. And you can see there were some clouds like literally right over. I was on right over here in the Long Island Pine Barrens right here. You see that green spot? That is actually the Pine Barrens of Long Island. And I was right about over here. And that's why I was dealing with some of those pesky clouds. But then they went away and things cleared out fairly nice for the rest of the day. And you can see, you can kind of see where the snow, there's some snow up there. So I know everybody wants to know about the snowstorm. We're going to talk about that in a moment, but got to wait for, we'll give it a few more minutes. We'll get some more model information in. Let's go look at our current temperatures right now. It is cold out there. Temperatures are in the teens, upper teens out there. 19 at Islip Airport right now in Ronkonkoma. This gives you an idea of what you have out there right now. We have 19 degrees. Notice those dew points nice and low, generally around 0 degrees. Dry air in place, and if the winds die down, we should be able to get some radiational cooling. But we didn't really get this. You can see there was some gusty winds during the day. But generally, those are the conditions we had today. And you can see 19 degrees, dew point 1, north wind at 10 miles an hour there at Islip. And West Hampton isn't that much different. It's a little colder there, 16 degrees, dew point negative 1. But we'll see if they get that radiational cooling. If the winds drop down, there should be, because, again, these dew points are pretty low. And low dew points. They're radiating away in New Jersey already. Look at that. Miller Air Park is 9 degrees with a dew point of 3. So they're already getting the radiational cooling, and I think that's what we're going to get in West Hampton once these winds die down. And it's going to get quite chilly. Single digits in the Pine Barrens, maybe near 0 possibility. For the rest of us, I think we're going to be around 10 degrees for a low tonight. Okay, so let's get a look at our highs and lows for today. Let's start with our high temperatures for the day. And we are in the upper 20s, so 28 at Islip for a high, 28 at West Hampton. 28 seems to be the number for the high today. That is below normal, but not terribly below normal. I mean, it is cold, but what I consider really cold is when it's only in the teens or in the low 20s. So we made it close to 30 degrees. So it wasn't, to me, I'm not going to call it a bitter cold day. It was a cold day, but not a bitter cold day. Cold, obviously, but not what I call bitter cold. Let's see what is in New Jersey. A little warmer there. Just a touch, around 30 degrees for a high. Let's go to the low temperatures, though I think the real lows will be set this morning, but we'll go ahead and look at the low temperatures. And these are the low temperatures. 19. So, we have to wait for the radiational cooling to take place because we had the winds this morning and we didn't really get to see that radiational cooling. This is a satellite loop. So we have mostly clear skies over us. So if the winds drop off, we're going to see a lot of radiational cooling tonight, and it's going to be very cold. We have a chance of seeing some possibly below 0 temperatures in the Pine Barrens, particularly West Hampton. Pine Barrens right here, West Hampton, or in the Pine Barrens, New Jersey. Could be quite cold. All right, let's get to it. Let's get to the models here and talk about this storm. The latest on this storm. This is the latest run of the GFS. So let me go look at the eastern U.S. view here. Let's get the latest on where this thing is tracking. Now, the last couple of runs I saw, it was tracking east. So let's take a look. There's that high pressure. Stays over us tomorrow. Gives us another fair weather day. Then starts moving off the coast on Friday. And this is the storm right now. It's staying fairly far east now. It seems like Long Island and the Jersey Shore would only get brushed with possibly light snow. And the storm kind of doesn't really get going until it moves a little further out over toward New England. And right now, it doesn't even look like it's hitting New England that hard. I mean, maybe the Cape, but other than that, it would be the Cape and then Maine and probably Nova Scotia that would wind up getting hit by this storm. And it just seems to be tracking further east in these model runs as time goes by. And this seems to be now a consensus gathering on this. So this is the GFS 0Z run. All right, that's your storm track right there. All right, on the 0Z run. And we can look at the icon model as well. Let's see how that is. That might be more tucked in because the icon and the Euro seem to... Yeah, that still has a further west. This is the 0Z icon run that has a further west track that I don't know if I'm buying at this point. All right, because the track record of the icon and the Euro has not been great this year. All right, now we can also take a look at some of the short range models. So let's go back to the GFS now that we're in the northeastern view. And this is the main thing we're going to be focusing on is the storm right now. All right, so this is the northeastern view. This is your storm. You can see we're just getting brushed by a little light snow now Saturday, and that would be it. Just do a little light snow and some winds. We look at the total snowfall. Look at that. It only gives us an inch or two. I mean, this is a huge change from what it was looking like as the track shifted further offshore, and it seems to be doing that. It seems like we've seen this a lot, a pattern this year. That's why people are like, oh, there's going to be a storm. And I'm like, not quite. Let's not get ourselves too excited because we know as we get closer to the event, it seems that the track always winds up shifting to the right. So the only areas that really get slammed with lots of snow would be parts of Maine and, of course, Nova Scotia with this particular track on the GFS. Now, if we flipped it over to let's go back to this and let's look at the icon model. Now, the icon is closer to the coast and more tucked in. And you can see it has some of the heavier snows over eastern Long Island there. And the icon would give us more snow, and that's similar to the European model here, and that would give the eastern end of Long Island over a foot and Nassau County 6 to 10 inches. And this is probably way overdone. All right, that's what I'm thinking right now. But I'm not going to make a forecast yet. It's just too soon. But we're examining all the models here, and we're seeing where they all stand. Now to the NAM 12. This is the NAM 12, and that's the 0Z NAM 12, which we may not have enough of. It does not look like we have enough of the 0Z NAM 12, and I was really hoping we would. That's as far as we've got, unfortunately. But we can look at the 18Z NAM 12. All right. And you can see, look at how far offshore it takes it. I mean, it literally is almost a complete miss for us at this point now. Of course, this is... Let's see what the latest run of the 0Z... Where is the 0Z? Okay, so this is 12Z. All right, so 12Z, let's compare it with this. And let's see, it's similar. It's similar in location. Yeah, it's similar in location. So this is the 12Z. That's the 0Z. This is the 18Z. So it's a little further north on the 0Z run. But it's very, we only have out to 12Z on Saturday, which is unfortunately not enough time for us to really come to a consensus on what this model has to say. See, we still don't have all the models to work with yet. And that, of course, makes it very challenging, especially when you're waiting for... I was really hoping that run would be in by now. It's almost 11:30, but I don't want to really wait anymore. I'm kind of tired. So now let's go to the HRRR model, which I don't think it's going to go far enough out either. So here's the HRRR model, and yeah, this doesn't go far enough out. This only takes us to zero. Where is the storm? I can't even find it. That's it, right here. Look at how far out that storm is. That's even further out. So yeah, the models are all over the place, but the general trend is taking this thing more offshore. So it's looking less likely that we're going to see a heavy snowfall for Saturday. Oh, I'll put it that way at this point. All right. So with that, let's get to our temperatures. We'll focus on the next couple of days here, being that we really can't. And as far as the Weather Service goes, they haven't really... there's a winter storm watch for New England. East of here, you can see a little blue. But other than that, all we have is gale watches because the wind is going to be a concern. All right. So let's go take a look at our temperatures in our skies for the next couple of days. So this is the HRRR model for tonight. And like I said, I think that we're going to see at that radiational cooling. I think you can have a lot of areas that are going to get to around 10 degrees. A lot of us are going to see around 10 degrees, but I think some areas where there's better radiational cooling, and even here in central Nassau, we could possibly see some 5 to 10 degrees. Now, in the Pine Barrens, I think it could get down to near zero. That would be West Hampton and New Jersey. All right, so for tomorrow, start off cold, and we recover. Tomorrow, we make it actually could reach close to freezing, I think, tomorrow. And that's because we're going to see a wind shift. You'll see when we go look at the wind profile. Not as cold tomorrow night. And then Friday, you can see we're going to have temperatures a little, probably mid-30s. But you can see, look at this cold air that's going to be building down. And this cold air may help push the storm offshore. That's what it looks like we're going to see happen once again. So let's go look at the dew point and wind profile. And kind of explain to you what's going on here. So we have that light northerly flow tonight, and I think the winds go fairly calm, and that's why I think there'll be some radiational cooling. You see that dry air. Winds become more easterly and then southerly as we get into the afternoon tomorrow, and that is going to bring the temperatures up compared to today. And then we have a southwest wind into Friday. That becomes west and then north, west and then north as we get toward the evening. All right? And that's when we could start seeing a chance of some light snow develop across the area. So now if we want to go any further on these, we'd have to go to the GFS. And again, let's just do that to kind of visualize here what's happening. So here's the GFS, 0Z GFS run. And here we go into Friday and Saturday. And you can see there's your storm. This cold air comes in and kind of pushes the storm to the offshore. And that seems to be what's going to be happening. But you can see those strong north to northeasterly winds becoming north and then north-northwest later on in the day on Saturday, and then another really cold day on Sunday with a northwest flow. All right, looking at the temperatures, and it'll be cold enough to snow. Any precipitation we're going to be getting is going to be in the form of snow. I don't think we're going to see any rain. Here we are, Saturday, and you can see Saturday is going to be very cold. We're going to be struggling to reach 20 degrees, I think, especially because we will be cloudy. The sun won't be out, and it will be cloudy. And then Saturday night, we're going to have a cold night. Lows, temperatures dropping to this probably around 10 degrees, 10 above by Sunday morning. Then for Sunday, we're only seeing the mid-20s for highs. I'm not going to go beyond that, all right, in this forecast. All right, so now let's go look at the skies. Well, there is one other model we could look at. I almost left out the Canadian, so let's go to that, even though I don't really use it that much. Let's go to the RGEM, which is a short-range version of the Canadian, which we usually use for skies, but let's go ahead and see what this does, if it has shifted east or not. No, it has not shifted east. It's still having the track, bringing us to heavy snow. So that one has not shifted east yet. This is the Canadian. Again, I use it for skies, but it's not always the most accurate when it comes to storms. Again, I think this is toward the heavier end of things. So this would give us a lot of snow. Yeah, this would give us close to a foot of snow, but not quite. And again, the Canadian and the Euro and the Icon seem to be further left, and the NAM, HRRR, and GFS, which seem to have a better track record, are more to the right. All right, so now let's use this for the skies, because it's usually what I like to use for the skies. So here we go. Even though it really didn't do that well today with the skies, did not pick up on those clouds that developed. Well, now it picked up on them, but you can see here it's really tomorrow we should have a few more clouds around. I think it's showing some more clouds. Maybe a little less over Jersey, but I think we're gonna have some of the upper level clouds, and I don't think we're gonna have that nice blue sky. And then obviously more clouds for Friday ahead of the system. All right, this is again the RGEM model showing the storm there. All right, and again, I'm not really all that confident in that solution. But let's go to the NAM. The NAM's I think a little more accurate with what's going to be happening. At least, well, looking at the skies at least. This is the 0Z NAM. Interesting. We have 60 hours for the skies. That's interesting. So tomorrow, you'll see we'll have some clouds over. What happens is you're going to have a cloud bank over the water, and then as the winds shift to the south, it's going to bring that cloud bank over land. So that's where we're going to see some more clouds, and obviously Friday we'll have the clouds, and then the clouds from the storm passing by. And this is as far as this NAM goes. And again, if we look at the precipitation here, that's as much as we've got of it. So it does not really. Unfortunately, I don't have the NAM to work with, which is frustrating. I really wish we did have it. Well, this is the 3 kilometer NAM right now. If we want to go a little further, we usually use the 12 kilometer NAM, but you can see this is as far as it goes. We're not getting any more, and it's like 11:30 now, so we don't have any more information on that one. So I'm not saying we're out of the woods. I'm just saying it's looking less likely that we're going to see a heavy snowfall. So let's go look at the European model next, and this is using windy.com. And we'll go ahead and look at this, and we'll use the cloud forecast to show you what this is interpreting here. So you can see, again, that same thing. I don't think we're going to have a clear day tomorrow, though. It seems like it's sunnier over New Jersey. But you can see there's the storm. We have the clouds, a little light snow. There's the storm getting going. We'll pull this out a little bit so you can see the storm. And then this is the European model now, which... yeah, I think it's come a little east. I think it's come a little east as well. This is Saturday. I think it's come a little east. Let's see. It does seem to have heavier snow bands setting up over the forks. But let's go ahead and see how much snowfall this European model gives us here. New snow. Let's see. All right, next 3 days. I guess what's this in there? Is this next 3? It's next 5. All right, it's next 5. So it's still putting a lot of snow, 21 inches. That is not going to happen. So it's overdone. I think it's overdone. I'm not buying this European at all one bit. I don't think this European is correct. When we look at the GFS, see, that's further east. NAM, which we don't have, unfortunately, and it's like there's a split between... there's a split between all the models. The American models are in one camp, and the foreign models are in another camp. It basically seems like that is what is going on. But let's focus on the wind. All right, let's focus on the wind element of it while we can, because this windy site is good to visualize the wind. All right, now if we take the European, which is the strongest solution and the worst by far, as far as the wind goes, we would see some pretty strong winds over us with that center of low pressure. These are just regular sustained winds, and you would see north sustained at 28, and then out over the Cape, you're really sustained around 45. So that would definitely be a bona fide blizzard, especially if I throw the wind gusts in here. And you see here those wind gusts over a good part of Long Island, over 50 miles an hour, and out on the Cape, they're 65 miles an hour. So these are the kind of winds you'd be dealing with this storm. The Aura is a lot slower too, and closer, and just it just doesn't seem like that's what's going to be happening. But 71 mile an hour wind gusts there on the Cape, 49 over there. Now shifting over to the GFS. So let's do this. GFS. All right, so this is the GFS here at noon on Saturday with wind gusts, and you can see this solution gives Long Island some. The windy conditions are mainly over eastern Suffolk. The rest of us are just, we'll be dealing with some wind, but it won't be like huge winds. But the huge winds would be confined more to New England in this particular setup. All right. Either way, we're going to be dealing with rough surf. I don't think we get out of that. This is the GFS for the surf. And you can see the waves, the red, especially in New England, would be pretty bad. Let's go to the European, obviously, because that's a stronger system. So this is the European here, and you can see, again, you'd be dealing with that rough surf causing some coastal flooding. And again, this is the European model. All right. So I wish we had more of that NAM in. I really do wish we had more of that NAM in. But that's as far as it goes. Maybe if I go to 32 kilometer, maybe it'll give us a little more. Oh, all right, it'll give us a little more. Here's the 32 kilometer. Oh, it's the 18Z. We don't really have a... very annoying. I don't have the... I thought more of this would be in by now. It's really annoying. It's really, really annoying, I gotta say. Not to have the latest model running on the NAM. But it's just looking less likely at this point. The GFS is fairly consistent with taking this thing further east. Yeah, the GFS, I think, has the best track record. Uh, that's what we've seen so far, anyway. Well, we're not out of the woods, but I'm just saying it's looking less likely at this point that we're going to see a huge snowstorm. We'll see a snowfall, but not a huge snowfall. That's what it's looking like right now. But of course, things could change tomorrow, so you have to stay tuned and pay attention to this evolving situation. Anyway, thank you for watching and have a good night.